What's up out there? We are in tier 15 map, I think. That's what we're on right now. I just wanted to showcase my current build for a second here and showcase how I am running with Bone Shatter right now. And if you notice, I am not moving and I am not taking stacks of trauma damage. We will show why that is the case here in a second here. Let me clear these guys out. So I was able to sit there and just annihilate the whole thing. The big problem that I've had for the last couple days, I think I put my last video out yesterday and it feels like it was so long ago, but one of the problems that I've been having is I die to trauma stacks over and over and over again, and it's just been excruciatingly miserable trying to not die to trauma stacks the entire time, and it's been frustrating. I have sat here today trying to figure out how I was going to get around it, and I just couldn't quite get there. Then I had a thought. So I was watching somebody talk about, I can't remember the guy. There's a guy that does like what builds are popular for the week or something like that, or for the league or whatever. What the most popular builds as of this week. And today he did SSF and he was talking about Carnage Heart. So I switched this out and I've made some other changes to my gear. Like at one point I swapped out this armor here. So in researching how to get around the trauma stack issue, one of the things that I read was that if you get more armor on it, you can reduce the trauma stacks or something along those lines. So I worked up this piece of armor here with 2000 armor on it, this glorious plate with 2000 armor, 20% quality. It's got some evasion rating on it, some damage recouped his life, armor, cold, chaos res, some stuff like that. I put max health on it. I had to redo this chaos ring slightly. I had to change the benchcraft on it to be something different, but I tried this for a little while and it wasn't working. And I just wasn't getting anywhere and I just couldn't get any further. So I swapped all that back. I made another change first. We're going to get into that change here in a second. But my point is, this is pretty much the exact same gear you saw in yesterday's video. There's nothing different. I haven't changed anything on any of this gear. Not at all. The one thing that I changed is the Bone Shatter gem that I am using. So at some point, I've only ran the Trial of Ascendancy thing like 4 or 5 times. I know we need it 4 times, so I don't remember if I've ran it since then. I think I might have ran it once or twice since and died, or maybe I succeeded once and died. It doesn't matter. But at some point, I got this Bone Shatter of Carnage. Now, the thing with this does not cause trauma stacks. The regular Bone Shatter gem does cause trauma stacks. Now, this one does, the regular gem does 158 to 238 added attack physical damage. This one is slightly less at 142 to 213. But it reduces the enemy stun threshold by 25%, which the regular one with trauma does not. They both have 0.2 meters, plus 0.2 meters to melee strike range. This one gives you 38% chance to double stun duration. And the other big difference on this one is the original Bone Shatter one, or the regular Bone Shatter one, has 15% increased area of effect per 0.1 second of stun duration up to 400%. Bone Shatter of Carnage does 20% increased area of effect per 0.1 up to 400%. So this one does slightly less damage. If I equip regular Bone Shatter on the tooltip, I'm getting 55,437. If I equip this Carnage one, I get 56,991, and I still have one last level to get on this, so that damage will bump up slightly. I think I'm pretty close in how much damage I'm getting. I think at one point I saw 240,000 on the tooltip in combat. That's with everything up and all the stuff hitting at the same time. So I saw about 240 somewhere in there. I've seen 160 on this Bone Shatter of Carnage, so it may not stack up as high on the far end of it. So the top end damage may not be as high, is what I'm saying. But what I am getting is the ability to stand in place and beat the hell out of something without moving. And what I ran into before with the regular Bone Shatter gem is that I would have to hit until the stacks built up, and then I would have to kite around a little bit until the trauma stacks died down, and then I could hit again. The problem that I kept getting caught in is as I had too many stacks, my health would drop down, and if I got hit with a big shot, whether I killed myself because of too many trauma stacks or an enemy got a good shot in, I was just dying. So, to solve that, I tried this gem out because this doesn't have trauma stacks, so I don't have to worry about any of that. Is the attack speed any different? I never looked at that. 85, 250, 250. Nope. So the attack damage is 267.1 of base, and effectiveness of added damage is 267, and this is just 250, 250. So it might give slightly more damage in the long run. The thing that I don't have to worry about is trauma stacks anymore. Now, the cool thing is as I was reading about this, because I was trying to figure out what it did, I was sitting out on the couch, vegetating for a little while. I had a big play session today, and I was reading about this, trying to figure out alternate ways of dealing with trauma. And I looked this thing up again because I knew I had it. And somebody was saying that you can actually put the trauma support gem on there. So I don't think I have one. Do I? Yes, I do. And it goes with Bone Shatter of Carnage. So I can actually use this with Bone Shatter of Carnage should I want to. Now, I don't know that I want to change anything out. I may, if I get a 6 socket, I may toss that in there and see how that goes. What my theory is with this is, like, I've got these down here, these skill gems down here. These are low, the cast when damage taken ones, these are all under cast when damage taken, and then the flame dash I'm leaving low intentionally because I'm not really using it, and it's got enough uses on it, so I'm leaving these here. My thinking with this trauma support is I could probably throw this thing on there and level it up a little bit, but not necessarily level it up to 20. You know what I mean? Level it up to where it's comfortable to get the bonus from these stacks and see how this goes. So I'm kind of curious how this thing works if I level this up and get this going. So that's going to be an experimental point. I did get a 6-socketed chest piece, but the problem is it's corrupted. So I've been trying to change the color of it. Is it going to give me the colors I need? No. So I'm still trying to get some currency in that, but I do have a 6-socket. It's just not the colors I need for the moment. So once again, with the exact same gear, and I actually switched this Carnage Heart out. I was because this one has more life leech, and it's got a little bit of elemental resistances on it and all the attributes and stuff. So that's going to relieve some of the attribute stress on some of the other gear if I switch things out. I think that should help out a little bit anyway. Somehow, some way it'll help out. But the bigger thing is it's got all that life leech. So this build relies on life leech. I cannot run without it. So I have to have that. And, oh, I don't remember if I've shown the best part yet. But I now have 2 Void Stones. So with this newfound knowledge, I took this and killed off the Eater and the Exarch. So pretty much in 2 weeks' time, I've replicated all of the results I did last time. And those fights weren't bad. I died once to each one. I died to the balls on the Eater, or on the Exarch, and then on the Eater, I died. He had a big AoE, not the big one that you gotta mute all the little ball things out or charge all the little balls, but just one that comes down. I forgot about it, and he hit me with it. I do need to start farming him for the Ashes of Stars. I don't remember if that's a ring or an amulet, but I need to farm him for that, or what it is. It's something that was in Karn's notes for this build. So this is basically the exact same build. The only thing I changed out that really made a massive difference is this Bone Shatter of Carnage. And the difference that it makes is the fact that I don't have to sit to kite anything around while my stacks die off. The biggest problem that I had with this build, and people can yell at me about my life being low or my damage not being great or the axe not being the best, but I've got 2 Void Stones to show for it, and the only change I made was to swap over to this that doesn't stack trauma. That's it. That's the only difference. And it was very successful for me, and it felt really good to run. Yeah, it takes a little bit longer to kill the boss. It's faster than Righteous Fire was. It's a toss up on which one was more aggravating to use because when you got a boss that moves all around, you have to move your totems with them. So this build kind of sucks for that. But if you get a boss that stands there, you can just tank on it, beat on them for a while. With Righteous Fire, I don't know, you had to drop the fire traps and then they'd move. And I don't know, it's 50-50, I guess. But I was definitely killing them faster with this build. Now, I obviously, if I get a better axe and get some better gear in here, we're going to go up from here. So, I don't know. I've got all this done, and we're going to be trying Maven next. I think Maven will be the next one that I work up towards. So I've got this started, and I just need to go into here. And I got this Augmented Distant Memory done, and I got the Purifier done. Those were way easier fights. I don't think I died on either one. Like, I did a bunch of tier 16 maps and a bunch of stuff leading up to the Exarch and the Eater. And I leveled up a couple times, so we're at 93. So I now have this nodes all the way down into here. I need to go look because I think I take this node up here next. I don't remember if there's a mastery there. And then at some point we come over to here. But I might look around and see what else is out there because I don't know if I need more +1 to resistances. I don't know if I care about this. Maybe, I guess. I don't know. We'll see. But there was some interesting damage ones around here somewhere or something else. I may look at the rest of these. So I'm at 93. And it took about 2 hours. I did a whole bunch of delve. I did a big stack of sulfite, whatever I had. And I got up most of the way to the level. And then I had to run about 6 or 10 different maps to get finished off. But I do have level 93. I think this is 2 levels above where my last video. Like I said, I've been working pretty hard on this. I got to take a break because I'm kind of tired of playing. I also went back to Primalist so that I could get my banner skills with no reservation and increased mana reservation of skills. This sucked without that, and I could not run Ancestral Cry. I couldn't do it. I didn't care for the tinctures all that much, and this was just so much better to run with this Primalist build. It's night and day. I can function or I can not function. So the slightly more damage was more inconvenient than all of the other stuff. So I just came back to this thing. So we now have Eater and Exarch down, and I've got only up to go. I can definitely do a lot more maps because these are tier 9s now. So, the tier 16s drop way down to here. So this is really cool. That means I've got a lot of headroom for tier 16 maps instead of just these 4 up here. As I start going back through this, we're good to go. And the map that I need is yellow. So I should be able to run any of these yellow maps down here and still get Kirok missions for this thing here. I do have Kirok missions built up. I got 1, but I don't have... I could probably run these, try to do the missions on here, but I need to get him to reset this. So I either need those scouting reports to reset this or I got to run one. Unfortunately, these are kind of tough to do. Maybe complete the Abyss isn't bad, but that's can't regen life, which I don't think that matters. It doesn't have... I ran one earlier that I couldn't leech, and that was terrible. Couldn't figure out why I was dying. So anyway, yeah. So great progress. I mean, I'm way back. I'm right back where I was this last league. And all the problems that I had was with trauma stacks, was just with the skill itself stacking too much trauma. And switching out, just the simple act of switching to this gem made all the difference in the world. It gave me more confidence to go try something and knock these things out. I got my level, I got 93 earlier today. And I got 2 of the maps that I needed earlier today, so that was really cool. And I kept pushing stuff, and then I switched this out, and I decided to try some tier 16 maps, and they were going down easy. I wasn't having nearly the problems that I was, because like I said, I could just sit there and spam this Blood Rage while just standing there beating on things. I didn't have to stop and run around. So those went down, then I thought, all right, I'm going to try the Eater, or the Exarch. So I fought the Exarch, killed him off, and then immediately came over here and selected the Eater and went and killed a few things went through the quest chain on that to get him. So I spent another, half hour playing that I didn't intend to. But yeah, so there we are. Merry Christmas. So anyway, that catches you up to where I'm at right now. And that will do it for this video. Merry Christmas, and we will catch you on the next one. Take care.